Okay, in this video we're just going to look at some reasons why the DCC18 adapter might not be working for your camera. And if you don't know anything about this adapter, I'll leave a link to sort of talking about what it is and what it does. But in this video specifically, a few people have said to me that their camera's not powering on, and I'm just going to kind of explain the reasons for why that probably is. So you can see here I've got a power pack in the background. And this power pack does have USB-C, so I think a lot of people think that anything with USB-C has PD sort of output, and even if it does, the PD output may not be the output required for the camera. So you can see on this one, if I plug this into the USB-C port and then I plug this in, so this would just be charging the battery for the camera, just so you can see that it kind of works. So you can see there it's charging it, and it's not a full charge, it's kind of like a trickle charge, and we talked about that in another video, so I'll link to that. But essentially you can see that the USB-C is delivering power, but then if we put in the dummy battery, I won't bother putting it through the loop just for this, and then plug it into the right cable. So if I plug it into there, you'll be able to see if I hit the power on, nothing's going to happen. It's essentially just not working. No lights on the top, no power on the back. And the reason for that is because this unit here, it can only output 9 volt 2 amps. So the camera requires 9 volt 3 amps. So essentially if you can't deliver enough power to it, it's just not going to work. And the same for if we take this for example. So this is the Anker Nano power bank. I've done a video about that, so I'll link up to it in the corner. But essentially if you use the USB-C cable on this, it is going to work. It's USB-C PD, but it's also 9 volt 3 amp. But if you try to use the USB-C-A, so like if we use a cable like this, so it's USB-C on one end, USB-C-A on the other end, we plug that into here, and then we plug this end into the camera, switch the camera on, again, no lights on the top, nothing on the back. You can see that it's not actually doing anything, and it's because the USB-C-A output on the camera doesn't output the same as this USB-C port on there. So if you're going to use the DCC18 adapter, you're going to want to make sure that you're buying a power bank, or from my experience most V-mount batteries do output 9 volt 3 amp. I haven't really seen any that don't do that, but power banks are a bit different. So if you're going to try and power this off of a power bank, or even a V-mount, just make sure that you're checking the specs for it, and in the specs it does say that it delivers USB-C PD power up to 9 volt 3 amp. Anything less than that is just not going to work. So that's really important, because if you've got a power bank and you just think, oh great, I can buy this for sort of $30 or $40 and I can power the camera from it, that might not be the case, because then you essentially just have an adapter that doesn't work, and you'll have to go out and get a new power bank that does support that, or just return the adapter. So it's important that you just make sure that the bits that you're plugging into this adapter are compatible, and they're able to power the camera. So that's just a bit of a kind of overview of that. The other issue you might have, if you're 100% sure that the output on your device is 9 volt 3 amp and it's still not working on the camera, then that's going to be down to your cable. So even if you're using a USB-C to USB-C cable, it's not guaranteed that that is going to be a good enough cable. So you can always find well, if you've got any, test different cables. But like I say, if it's 9 volt 3 amp, it should be working. So the likelihood is that the cable is the sort of weak link in that setup. So it's worth switching that out and seeing if you can find a different one to get it to work with. I'll leave a few links and stuff to these bits so you can kind of check them out. But yeah, it's just a bit of a word of warning before buying it. Just make sure that you're actually able to power it with the equipment that you've got. So yeah, if you've got any questions, obviously leave them in the comments. But if you found that helpful, please give the video a like. If you want to see more Lumix content, check out the playlist on this channel, and please subscribe.